Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and we're going to get, I know you guys are tired of seeing me draw on a whiteboard, so we're going to give you a little bit of a break, but we're not done doing those. We're going to come back and do some of our rack tour stuff we were doing before of our pairings this year, so we're going to get to that. Before I do that, I got to give a shout out to one thing. Look at this kick-ass custom snake hook. You know, not a lot of people get a custom snake hook, but we did. Even has my Wildcats on there, K-State, and some K-State there. And here's the cool thing. We are, and I know by the time you're seeing this, has been this way for a while. You're thinking old news. But we're just filming this kind of like right after that happened. We are the Big 12, I shouldn't say we. They are the Big 12 champions. All I do is buy tickets. So congratulations to all those K-State players and fans. Awesome season win the Big 12. But I do have to give a quick shout out to TCU getting into the college football playoffs. Hope he makes some noise for the Big 12 in there. And for those of you who are football fans, have you ever seen a performance like you saw from Max Duggan? That dude is a total warrior and definitely earned respect from, I think, anybody who saw that game. And I wish he'd win the Heisman over Caleb Williams, who's kind of a dick. So that is all I got. And for anybody who thinks I'm wrong, just read the man's painted fingernails at the Utah game. That should tell you all you need to know. But let's get on to snakes, because that's what probably 98.5% of you are here for, and not to hear me talk about how much I love my Wildcats and being Big 12 champions. So, enough of that shit. Let's talk about some pairings. We're going to focus on this rack here today, and we're going to share with you all the pairings that we're going to do out of it. So, let's start up here. Are you going to be friendly? Oh, God, baby. This is one of my most hated racks, by the way. And, of course, this snake is in shed. It's like they know when we're going to film. So this is just a simple bumblebee. Like I say, it's in shed right now, so I'm not going to keep it out very long just because, you know, it's in shed. So let's go ahead and put this thing back because I don't want to mess with it in shed too much. It is going to be bred. Oh! One day you guys will be gone. Not the snakes, the racks. And I still won't miss you. They're way better since Kurt fixed them than what they were originally. These first gen TGRs were a little rough. The second gen were amazing. Third gen were great. And then, of course, TGR went out of business. So, but this is going to be bred to an onyx. Why are we doing that? Because you're looking at a pastel spider. This is kind of a simple thing. Again, we wanted to avoid making normals. So you're going to get the het red exanthic black pastel. One of two will be in there on everything we breed. You're going to catch pastels. You get pewters and things. And they're just some cool looking snakes. So, you know, makes neat stuff. So we're going to do that. So this here is a male. We're not breeding it. That's why it's lined through. It was supposed to be a leopard female. This is one that was missexed when it came into our world. And we figured it out pretty quick during pairing. That something didn't sound right. Double checked. It's a dude. So we can skip that leopard. And that brings us to this one here, who just shed. Wow, I'll set you on the table. This is a leopard bumblebee. So as you can see, we're pretty heavy on the old spider in this rack. Nothing wrong with that though, right? So with this thing here, we're going to be breeding it to a banana black pastel. So the idea here is I really like my banana with spider. We have too much spider, y'all. We're not keeping any spider this year if we can avoid, unless I just fall in love with something, because I really do like it. When you really like something, you can end up having to overpower your collection, and we are on the brink of doing that, so we're trying to avoid keeping any. But I like it, so we're going to make it. We're probably going to part with it, and then you're going to get, of course, the leopard in there too, and leopard banana is a good combination. The pastel isn't going to do that banana any favors, but that's okay. It'll make everything else cool. So, you ready? Put you back in there. Whoop, did I bump you? Sorry about that. There you are. Not feed day. It is not feed day. No, this snake's a jerk. Kurt's just getting up close in case I get bit. Get a tool. Simply teach the snake you're not feeding it. Hey, knock that off. There you go. Not feeding you. Golly. So this is a big old cinnamon right here. And for those of you that know, I said, oh, I'm not going to get cinnamon. I'm just going to run the black pastel line. I end up with this because, honestly, a lot of these over here are what Caleb brought in when he came in. This is one of those. She's a good prolific breeder. She's already had eggs for us last year. She had eggs for Caleb a high number of years. And so when we sat down and did our pairings, which since Caleb brought a lot of these in, he helped us choose, by the way, we chose to stick this with Blitz. Again, just to kind of see what that combo is going to do. Man, she's big and thick. This is going to be a good producing girl for us. So we're hoping to do well. We'll go in there with that. So get your tail out of there. I don't think her not having a lock yet is her fault. I think the male's just now starting to get to where he wants to breed this year because she seems ready to go. You ready to go back in there? There you go, girlie. She is also a very prolific feeder, as you can tell. We are nowhere near feed day, and that girl was ready to bite my face off. So, craziness. Up here next is going to be a pastel het clown. So, you guys will hear us, like, you know, and I know I've been very hard on clown lately because of the oversaturation of the market, and it's honestly proving a point that I've raised with many people that a lot of people told me I was an idiot on, and so I'm just kind of enjoying my, haha, I was right to her. I'll get over that eventually. But we do like clown. So as much as I bag on clown, don't think that I think clown sucks. I just think it was overvalued because there's too much of it. But we're still going to produce clown and help add to that problem because it is a cool morph when you pair it right. Pastel to me has always been the way to go with clown because wanting to brighten it up, they look really good as babies. So do the killers. I think fire in there, something to kind of hold those colors, can really do well with clown. You know, because clown is like, with pastel and clown, it's two snakes that do tend to brown with age. But when you put them together, my hope is it's going to hold a little better, especially if you add something that helps keep it. Orange Dream would be another great way to go with clown, and you're going to see that in a little while. So this one's being bred to our inchy clown. So we're looking for that inchy pastel clown, trying to keep those nice orangey clean colors in our clown and just make some beautiful animals. So that's what we're really after there. And again, clown's always going to have a value. It's just not going to have the crazy, stupid prices we were seeing for a while that would cause an overproliferation of it, which I'll get to in one of our business videos. I remember this statement: little kids soccer. That's what the ball python industry becomes. I'll explain that in a different video, but not today. We're going to move on. So the next one up is a simple pied. And hi, you. Come on, come out of there. Now she's having a little struggle getting back on food, so we're not going to keep her out very long. She needs to get some more weight on her. She is very, very high white, just a few black spots there, and she is being bred to another pied. She did go last year, and she is at weight to go this year, but I would like, it's not always, you know, we always talk about, hey, you put on the scale, if it weighs this much, you can breed it. A lot of it's body condition. I would really like to see that snake fatten up and fill out this year. And she's eating good now. It just took her a while to get back there. So I'm really kind of trying to keep her low stress and everything else so that we can continue to get that weight back on her the way we want. Next up is, oh, you had a shed. Still got a little bit of skin on it. So we'll try to deal with that later. Let me check the eyes. The eyes are clear. You can see that cape starts right there at the head. If you'll let me get it for you, girl. If not, then you're going to have to go into a bath. Sometimes you got to lick your finger. And you just kind of pet. Okay, and you can see it's ready because that part's going to come off nice and easy. So stay there. What we're looking at here, we'll do that off camera. It'll be boring to watch on camera. Is in this time of year, we do get a lot of strip sheds and a lot of just not the best shedding because winter, the heater's running, it pulls a lot of moisture out of the air, and even though we keep these pretty humid, you're still going to run into that sometimes. So what is this? This is an Orange Dream, 100% het clown, 50% chance of being het albino, and 100% chance of a little bit of stuck shed on the back of its neck there. So we are breeding this to our inchy, or sorry, not our inchy clown. This is being bred to our pastel lesser desert ghost het cryptic, or sorry, het krypton, cryptic, woo, having a day. So what we can get out of this would be, everything is going to be pos het, if it's not visual, but we should make visual kryptons, along with a lot of genes floating in there, including pastel, lesser, and Orange Dream. So this is kind of a boom or bust. I mean, you could theoretically end up with a normal pos het, and God, wouldn't that suck, you know? I mean, it'd be a 66% chance of being het, clown, or cryptic, the pos hets would be. But you could also end up with a pastel lesser Orange Dream krypton. Yeah, so that'd be pretty awesome. This snake is one that is going to be tested eventually too. We just have to go do it. I just threw a little bit of shit away. Oh well. Because it's also 50% chance of being het albino. So we want to find out if it's het albino, because if it is, and then we make this same pairing, well then every baby has a 50% chance of being het albino as well. If this one proves to be het, and so, you know, you could then be looking at a krypton that has a 50% chance of being het albino, which if that proves out, you would have it be a triple het recessive with 2 of those being an allelic combo. Oh, by the way, it's all going to be het desert ghost. So it'd actually be het desert ghost, possible het albino. So yeah, it could be amazing. Let's just put that out there. This is going to be a really awesome breeder for us. And this one we have already observed locks on, so we're really hopeful. And as you can see, she is nice and thick. But you ready to go back in there? But for our season, I don't expect anything to be ovulated or anything like that yet. We will not hit any ovulations. At the earliest, we kind of maybe in March would have a set of babies. So in like February, April would be, February would be the earliest we'd expect to see an ovulation. But that's pretty few and far between. So we'll kind of just keep an eye on it there. So this here is a male pastel axanthic, so we don't need to show him. Below is a firefly. Let me pull that thing out. That's probably wrecked its tub. You did wreck your tub. Not too horribly bad, but bad enough I'm going to have to deal with it. I'm going to get you some fresh water while I talk. So these are a really simple combination, but man, do I love fireflies. They just brighten up so much with age. They don't get bad looking, and that's what makes them great, you know. So many snakes get to look crappy as they age, but these things don't. They just get better and better and better and better, right? And you really can't beat that, you know. So I really dig these. I just do. Not many ball pythons are going to improve the older they get. So if you don't have fire in there, this is why you need it. We have 2 different lines of fire. They're both just called fire. We're not trying to come up with a different name or anything like that. Shit, they both came to us as fire. I can tell you I see a difference in the line. The one that's on this snake here produces a much brighter animal than her other fire, I think. And her single gene fire offspring are off the hook. So she is really, really a super nice line of fire. Our other line of fire we have is good depending on what you want to do, but if you're wanting bright, this is the line that you want from us. So she's a good sized female being bred to the GHI, so we're hoping to get some GHI fireflies in there. Here's the thing, GHI fire looks cool, GHI pastel looks cool, GHI firefly then just should look badass as it ages. And those are snakes that do need to age. The GHI fire, the first one I made them, was kind of like, eh. But with age, you're like, holy shit, these look good. So I'm really into them, and I'm really into this snake because she's going to hopefully do great things for us. You would think as big as she is, like you'd expect huge clutches. So far, we haven't had that be the case. We have big eggs, good sized clutches, but we're not getting like that 9 and 10 egg clutch from her. But we get good, healthy clutches. We've bred her twice now on both years. She has not let me down. Have you, girl? You're not going to this year either. I know you. Ooh. And we have, that's it. That's all. The one below there is not one we're working with. So that is this rack. So again, just a quick overview of what we're breeding and what can be made. Then we'll go to Patreon and tell you why. Bumblebee to onyx. So worst thing we can make is a het red axanthic or black pastel. Best thing we can make is a het red axanthic pastel spider, or you know, we can make the black pastel spider. We can't get both genes in there. It's allelic, is going to pass on one or the other. Here is the banana black pastel to the leopard bumblebee. Of course, the best thing we can make would be the leopard pastel, black pastel banana. What I would really like to see come out of there, though, is leaving the pastel out and getting the leopard black pastel banana. That would be where I'd be happy. Spider too in there, because yeah, the spider just does cool things. So Cine Blitz, pretty obvious. We can get the best of Cine Blitz. This pastel het clown to inchy clown, we're hoping for some pastel inchy clowns. Pied to pied, that's not rocket science, right? I don't even need to tell you the best or worst. I mean, we're going to get pieds, right? Down below here, probably the most exciting clutch in this would be the pastel lesser desert ghost het cryptic to an orange dream double het clown pos het albino. If it proves out, so for the moment we're going to say it proves out, so we can just tell you what the best thing is. You would get a pastel lesser orange dream krypton het albino het desert ghost. Whew. Worst thing we can get there would be honestly, still not that bad. It'd be a het desert ghost, 66% chance of being het clown or cryptic, 50% chance of being het albino. If the albino proves, the albino doesn't prove, then that's out. You wouldn't have any chance, right? Below that, you have the Firefly GHI. That is one of those clutches we do have a shot at normals on. However, we do have the shot at the Firefly GHI. So Fire, Pastel, GHI. So that is what we're looking at. Man, that's kind of all I got. Kurt, anything you want to add about this rack?
No.
Caleb, what about you? There's a lot of your shit over here, so speak loud so the mic hears you. Because you got to talk into the dick mic. Sorry, guys, that's what it looks like still off the camera. It looks like something you'd see in a different kind of video. It's big and it's long and it's, yeah, phallic shaped.
I mean, I really go back and forth on what my favorite is out of that.
Save your favorite. That's a Patreon part.
There's like...
Can't tell them your favorite.
I'm not saying my favorite for due to the pairing. But I'm just really excited for that Cine, just for the simple fact that she goes and has good, solid clutches every year.
She does.
And so she's probably, even though she's probably the least amount of gene over there, she's probably one of my favorite snakes, and probably one of my favorite snakes I've ever had, just for the fact that she does so well with eating, as you can see. She's kind of an asshole, but that makes her a really good eater.
Yeah.
But she's an awesome snake. She's big, she looks good, and she always does well. So I'm always excited to see her go.
I don't even think she's an asshole. Like, this ghost bitch is an asshole. It's an asshole all day.
Hungry all the time.
She's just like almost like a berm for feeding. I'm not feeding you, and then she's like, okay, and then she's cool.
Yeah.
But whereas the ghost bitch is like waiting to bite me every day. So
it's exciting, especially so there's a couple like the leopard bumblebee.
Mm-hmm.
That was a snake when I told Matt when I brought it over, if it dies, it dies. Like, I know this thing is doing shit.
Talk like Rocky. If it dies, he dies.
And then, it did a complete 180, thrived, tripled its weight. Like, it really took off. And so I was really excited about that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it was struggling.
And there's a lot over here that, like the Pastel Hat Clown, the Orange Dream, all those I raised from babies. And this will be their first year going. And so it's kind of cool to see that sticking out the long haul and getting that done and hopefully come to fruition and pay off.
Hopefully. All right, well, we're going to wrap this up, slide over to Patreon. And that was kind of on accident for those of you who are on the fence about joining the Patreon. That's some of what you get. More than you just get this surface stuff of us talking about business, us talking about what we have and what we're doing, and me making some feeble attempts at having some comedic humor. Like a junior high kid, if I was, I want to know how often I was kicked out of class in junior high. Permanent seat in the hallway. But you do get a little more like that emotion, that rawness attached to like what really holds us here, that you're just hearing from Caleb, which I didn't know he was going to do, but I'm going to use that opportunity to kind of advertise. So if you like that and you like getting to know more about us and seeing that in-depth thought process and sometimes that kind of raw heart on our sleeves, what the fuck, there's a ghost in here, then join Patreon. It's worth your $5. It really is. All right, guys, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.